Hi, let's take a look at Transformers UK Compendium 1. Now, there were compendiums of the American Transformers series, all the miniseries, etc., from the classic Marvel era, and that comprised two different compendiums. This is the beginning of the UK compendiums, and like most compendiums, it's ginormously thick. There you go. Here is the spine. And here's the back copy and what it collects. So I am not actually familiar with, well, that familiar with the UK comic scene with a lot of our favorite franchises. And I know that there were Transformers UK comics. They used to collect some of those in trade paperbacks way back when I was a kid. But here it says that this collects 9 to 12, 29 to 32, 41 to 50, 54, 59 to 65, 74 to 88, 93, 96 to 104, 113 to 120, 125, 130 to 138, 145. I'm assuming that's Action Force. 24 to 27, I saw some of that here. That is their G.I. Joe. Transformers UK Annual 85, 86, 87. I'm assuming this breakup is basically their other stories in the Transformers magazine. I feel like these were the fortnightly ones. We would call it bi-weekly. And I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that it starts from 9 because there is no 1. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was leafing through this before and I was very excited because I know I have been doing some videos on these stories, specifically this one, Man of Iron, which was actually, did make an appearance in the American comics. They just straight up printed these stories. I love the art here, and I don't know if they credit it right on the page. They do have just basically a mass credit here of everyone who had worked on these in the past. There is no table of contents. This story was cool. There's something buried underneath this castle. There's ancient tales of a big robot. It's basically a transformer. The art is great. Lots of shading, lots of realism. Pretty cool stuff. Here are the classic cars. Here's Optimus Prime. And what's buried under here is a transformer, and they have to sacrifice it in the end. This dude, pretty cool stuff, and it gets that sacrificed so that the Decepticons don't get it. Enemy Within, this was Brawn. I don't think I finished covering this on my videos. Day job's killing me, but yeah, Brawn goes berserk and starts destroying stuff, and then the Decepticons want to recruit him. Lots of great classic stuff. What's cool about this is they're using toy designs. The other cool thing about this is if you exhausted the 80 issues of the American Transformers and you read them over and over again, it's cool to see, like, new to you stories that existed in the classic era with the classic characters. So more adventures with all the classic Autobots and Decepticons, etc. The Ark is invaded, so there's some pretty cool Raiders of the Last Ark. And of course, sometimes there were, as I understand it, there were color and black and white mixes in some of the issues. I could be mistaken. Here, everything's in color. Pretty neat stuff. Guardian, who's this character? Pretty cool. Megatron looks awesome in these. Very toy design-ish. Very much the toy. A lot of this is Dam Busters. This is with the Dinobots. Really neat. And this was this echoes one of the first episodes of the show. So you got the axe, you got this mace and everything. Wrath of the Guardians fighting all these. The Dinobots look great. I mean, I don't know if I go back to that page. They look cool. There's a lot of detail put into them. They look big and bulky too. Pretty cool stuff. Insecticons. Kill the humans. Wow, that's pretty extreme. Pretty neat. Yeah, so, and we get some of these text stories as well. Missing in Action. Tracks, a track story. Tracks never got much love. Got Inferno back here. And, you know, what's funny is a lot of this was running while Hasbro was going full speed ahead in America with, like, newer designs, the future stuff, you know, and all that. And they're still on, here's Optimus as Santa, they're still on classic characters and the classic designs in the UK. This art is great. Ravage's Resolution. Anarchy in the Ark. I'll just go through this more quickly. So this would span years and years of the Transformers in the UK. And these are all the UK exclusive comics, Dinobot Hunt. This is awesome. You know, this fire and stuff. Holy crap. And as I said, some of these were reprinted in the American comic series. I don't know if that's supposed to be somebody or just a new character. They did have characters like Circuit Breaker and stuff turn up in the UK comics, which is neat because that was an American creation specifically for the comic book. A couple of new teams. That's cool. Yeah, it's like Minosaur and Defensor, was that the guy's name? Here you got lots of Gestalt action. I feel like there's a lot of action here, especially if you were clamoring for more like combiner action, combiner characters beating each other up. Here's a lot of text stuff. Return of the Transformers Danny had met. So this is a story. Inferno again. Skywarp, I think that was. More Dinobots. So yeah, you're going to have to deal with this separation here for some of these. Also, I don't think this is the scale. I don't think these are the dimensions of the original magazines. It's a little smaller, but it's fine. I mean, you get everything on here. Ironhide, the real Ironhide. Ultra Magnus. So we're getting into the newer designs. Well, back then. Target 2006. Some of these were reprinted in the United States and Canada as well. Prime's the Prey. I love these covers. I guess they won't have hook, line, and sinker in here. I don't know if that was exclusively America. Look, Predaking. That's pretty cool. You got Optimus tinkering with his trailer. Pretty neat. Fallen Angel. Prime and Magnus. Side by side on Cybertron. That's awesome. And here's a Quintesson. That was a cartoon creation. Galvatron. Death's Head? Is that what that's supposed to be? If so, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm eager to get into these, like brand new stories with my favorite classic characters that existed in the classic era, but I never got to read them. They should have reprinted this as like a separate series, just Transformers UK and that's it. Instead of just having random stories and trade paperbacks and things. or just trying to fold them into like the American stuff. Just like every so often you'll find a UK story. So this is the Headmasters. I think this is exactly what the comic was. This looks like it's different, because I'm pretty familiar with that, and it looks like it's a differently told story, but still the Nebulans and everything. The final conflict. Here they are with Action Force, also known as G.I. Joe. This is a good crossover because it's classic G.I. Joe characters and classic Transformers characters. When they did this in the United States, they went with what the continuity was at the time, and it's all these randos. And it wasn't necessarily what you had in mind. Like Wild Bill is here and Megatron, that's great. Wild Bill is like super freaking out. Headmasters. This looks different than the American comic, so it's like a differently told story. Yeah, this is different art, different paneling. Wow, I can't wait to read this. That Headmasters miniseries was awesome. When I was a kid, I loved that thing. Cup story. So reading a new version of it from that time is great. It's one of Cup's war stories, I guess. Won't you yes? Is that not Death's Head? am I wrong? Yeah. Headhunt. Wow, these are awesome, dude. New classic Transform. Well, not new, they're old, but new to me. Fantastic. Alright, well, there you have it. That's kind of what's in Transformers UK Compendium 1. This is one of the ones that has the it's the paperback one. It's the bookstore version. The paper is reminiscent of the old paper that they used to use on the newsstand editions back in the late 80s. Fantastic stuff. Simon Furman, all sorts of great creators. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below if you read any of the old UK magazines or collected them and have fond memories of them. So I hope you like going through this with me. If you like what you saw, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.